Okay, I got a great question on my Facebook Live last week, and I'm going to do a full video on this. If you're someone that's looking to start your own business or start your own side hustle, but you're afraid to make the jump, I'm going to talk a little bit on what I did and how I made the initial jump. And I have Paul, who came through my mentorship program, did something very, very similar. So I'll talk you through that path, and hopefully the example will help you make your decision. You basically were telling me that you love the security of your job, and there's a massive fear in terms of making a jump into your own business. So that doesn't matter what that business is, whether it's personal training, makeup, hair, finances, accountancy, it doesn't matter. Whatever that jump is, that's your passion. There's a couple of tips that I'm going to offer here that'll hopefully support you. So the number one thing that I would offer is the fear. Everybody has that fear. The only difference between the people that make it and the people that don't is the people that made it didn't let the fear stop them. I was terrified when I made the jump initially from teaching into fitness. And it came from me was I was working, for some of you that know my story, as a personal trainer in London. I was working as a full-time primary school teacher, and then I was taking clients in the evening, trying to build up my craft and get better at personal training. And then I moved back to Ireland on social welfare. I moved in with my mum and dad, and I was driving my sister's little Yaris to try and get me from A to B while I built up a business. The truth is, everyone has that fear. And again, the context is different on each person. I decided to move back in with my mum and dad, and I took the ego hit of driving my sister's little shitty Yaris, and I made that decision with the hopes of making a fitness business work, which has obviously paid off since then. But the truth is, some people can't do that. If you have mortgages and you have kids and you have bills to pay, that's not going to be a very, very effective way for you to basically make your jump. So what I would advise you do, and this is very, very similar to what I did with Paul, who came through my mentorship program. It's very, very similar to what I did with teaching, because I was trying to do a little bit of subbing on the side. When you start making enough money in your side hustle, in the job that you're doing that's your passion, that you want to make the jump, and you start making the equivalent to what you're working full time, I would make the jump into that full time. So hear me out on this one. So what I would do is work your full-time job, your 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and every waking minute you have in terms of time and energy is going towards your passion project, the thing that you want to do. I'm helping a guy over in LA who's doing something very, very similar now, moving into the personal development fields, and he's a sales guy, and I gave him that exact same advice. He was worried, his exact thing, which a lot of people are, is I'll be tired, I won't have time. The truth is, you will have time. Everybody has time, it just has to become a priority. The energy aspect is where you could be killed. It's why when I put in my book about nutrition, I was talking about energy, because I know every workout I ever missed was down to being tired. I know every time I didn't do a video that I was supposed to do, I was because I was tired. I know every time that I didn't show up and I wasn't fully present in a meeting, it was because I was tired. So energy and time are two different things, because you have the time in the day if you prioritize it. The energy you may not have. Your side hustle should give you energy. The only reason, and again, it's a little bit of an insight, probably the first time I've said this, the only reason I was able to work 2 jobs and work as a teacher and do personal training was because most of my clients were free to begin with. I would have done it for free, and it gave me energy because I loved working with people and I was doing the thing that I loved by being in fitness. Your side hustle should give you energy. If your side hustle isn't giving you energy and isn't making you excited, it's probably not going to be the thing that's your passion that you should be doing long term. So you need to reevaluate and ask yourself, is the thing you're doing the thing you would do for free? Your side hustle, your passion project, all of these things, would you do it for free? If so, it's going to give you energy, it's going to make you feel better because it's what you want to do long term. So ask yourself that question first, and then every single waking minute you have and every extra ounce of energy you have is going towards building that business and making that jump. If it's personal training, you're educating your mind with nutrition, training, biomechanics, following the right people, reading the right books, being on the right podcast, subscribe to the right channels so you're building up that knowledge. If you need to do it to build a business, you're doing the exact same thing with business. Business podcasts, business books, mentorships, masterminds, seminars, whatever it is that's going to help you bridge that gap and merge the two things together, so that eventually when you're, for example, making €500 a week with your normal job, and now you're making 500 a week with your side hustle as a personal trainer or whatever that side hustle is for you, then you make the jump and you quit and you double down and make that your full-time job. That's how you eliminate a lot of the fear, because if you have a mortgage to pay and you've got kids to feed and you need to put a roof over your head and you can't make that jump because you can't move back in with your parents, or you can't for whatever reason can't make a full-time jump on it, that's how you side hustle out. Paul, that came through my mentorship program, used to work in a bookies, and when he came up under my wing and he was doing my fitness programs with people, until he made the equivalent wage doing personal training and one-to-one, he's out on his own now. He stuck with the bookies and worked 2 jobs and then quit, because that gives you that freedom, it gives you that income so that you don't have to worry and make silly decisions and work with the wrong people and do all these different things that aren't going to lead to success long term. But if you have that grounding, you gradually and slowly build up your business by educating yourself in your field, whether it's fitness or nutrition or whatever that is, educating yourself in business so you know how to do sales, marketing, advertising, because if you have no customers, you're not going to have a business. And then after you make the jump full time, and then you double down, and that's how you eliminate a lot of the fear, and that's how you make the jump. That's what I did. It's what I did with Paul when he came to one of the first people to come through my mentorship program, and that's one of the best advices that I can offer, and it's the one that I'm doing with my guy in LA now who's making the jump from sales to personal development, and I think it is the best way to go in terms of long-term play, making the jump out. And as someone that came out successfully the other side and had other clients of mine, business clients of mine, come out the other side, it's the best thing that I can offer to you. So hopefully it helps. So if you know anyone in a similar position that wants to make their jump, or is in the process of making the jump out from their job, or is constantly talking about, I'd love to be a trainer, I'd love to be a hairdresser or a makeup artist or an accountant, or whatever it is that side hustle is that your passion project is or their passion project is, be sure to tag them below. Hopefully you guys got loads of value from this video.